We get ready to go racing in iGPFun as we are green and we are away, and the race down to turn one is on. And I tell you what, Lamy is pulling alongside Marto, and this is going to be a fight into turn one. And as we're going to come through the center S's, can Lamy keep his nose in there? No, Marto just ahead, but he's being squeezed right now by Lamy. And I tell you what, he's in his slipstream, he's in full attack mode as Marto goes defensive to the inside. Lamy has to go for the outside. This is going to take a big move around to see the Interlagos right around the outside. Can he hold his car in there? Because if he can, he'll have the inside the next few corners. I'll tell you what, Lamy is not giving this one up without a fight. Marto trying to get around the outside. Lamy, well, he's a wily old fox. He shows him to the outside, knows exactly where he's going to go, so then squeezes to hold that inside line. He shuts the door right in his face because he knows if he can keep that inside line, Marto is not coming past. Look, he's joining in now. We've got Suarez. All this fighting and this constant side-by-side action from Marto and Lamy has now backed them up into Interlagos, and now we've got Pedro Suarez in the fight, and they're going to go free wide in the battle for second place. Hold on, folks, here we go. Who's going to come out on top? Well, I think it's Interlagos. He's up for the inside, and Suarez is through, and in the space of a straight, Marto loses 2 places. That's right. As well, they're all scrobbling for that inside line, battling away. Marto pulls out, he goes across the racing line, and that means that Alcaraz is going to lose out as Marto holds around the outside. He's squeezed by Suarez, pushes him right through to see the Interlagos there, but comes back. Is he going to retake this? He's on the outside, and we know, we've seen historically, that inside line is the place to be, and Pedro Suarez is there, and he's going to hold on to second. Or is he? Because look at Marto. If he knows if he can hold it around the outside, it's going to be on the inside here. And it's still side-by-side action. And now Lamy is out to 1.7 seconds ahead. Well, I say to Morgan's Ridgeway trying to take control of this train right now. So he heads to the outside and tries to sweep all the way around. And he does it around the outside into turn one. He's headed to the center S's. A great move there. The trouble is, because everyone's so tightly compressed, is that a, ding-dong going on in the midfield. That's put Nixon, it's Chuck Marrow and Adam Talsma. These two started on the same row. They've both made up 2 places. That's Chuck Marrow. Well, nearly chucking it all away, isn't he?
Simon Fessy now trying to fight his way back through the field. He's side by side with Stephen Riders through this middle sector, just going to nudge ahead. And all very loose on the exit there, but just manages to put himself up into 12th place. But now Simon Fessy trying to defend again from Stephen Riders. It is really hard to pull away from a driver behind around this track, and Andy Flint behind just slowly watching these guys waiting for an opportunity. Simon Fessy just nudges Stephen off, and Andy Flint now is going to seize his opportunity and surely going to move past Simon Fessy.
Suarez now trying to defend from Maruk, which is allowing Interlagos to get away. These two need to really think about just working together, surely, Aaron, to get up onto the back of Alcaraz, and then they can have a freeway fight over that last spot on the podium.
Barris and Neuenhoff behind, just putting his nose in, then letting Barris know that he is there and waiting for an opportunity, and that is maybe now as he goes very wide. It's going to be very close between these two. He just has a front wing alongside. Is he going to try and outrate Victor Barris into this next corner? He's going to try, but try as he may, can't quite get it done. And
I tell you what, he's taken another good chunk of time out of Lamy on the last lap. As Marto set the fastest lap of the race, 1:27.8. Lamy on the last lap only managed 28.1, so 3 tenths the advantage on that last lap alone, but Marto has lost a bit of time. As this is up ahead, and this is Suarez trying to come back. Lucas Maruk, the Canadian, will be desperate now to keep hold of this one, but he's got a long chunk of the race to go. 12 laps, in fact. As this down in the midfield, it's like the animals coming on to Noah's Ark 2x2, and making contact. No, they get away from one another. Richard Van Veen leading this group, then is Punzengerberger just behind them.
These guys battling, making me so nervous.
I tell you what, they're absolutely all over each other, this group of 5. Right now, we've got Olveski, Karty, and Tomolkins all involved in this one.
Interlagos usually has the most overtakes of the entire season in Formula 1. And yeah, today we're getting evidence of this. It's McIntyre Jones trying to come back from a pretty awful race that he's had so far, down in 35th place, making his way past Dorian Arroyo just a tiny bit. But whilst you were reading our retirements as Pedro Soares and Maruk going side by side, still battling for third. That's a very wide line for Pedro, nearly getting on the grass, but Maruk just slotting in behind for now, and we'll have to wait patiently for another attack. But here he comes again. I don't think he's quite close enough to go for a move unless he gets very, very late on the brakes. He's going to try and maybe stick a nose into this corner. It's very close between these two. He just slots in behind, but now all the way down the Reta Acosta into Descida del Lago, Marteau is going to have the advantage, the slipstream, the giga slipstream, as Marteau would say. He's going to go to the outside. Into turn 4 is much later on the brakes than Jerome. They're still side by side. Very fair racing between these two, but Jerome just manages to slot in front.
Lose the place here to Jimenez. Jimenez on the inside of Hay. And as we've seen before, there you go. It's the place to be, is on the inside. And Hay did not defend it. And Jimenez said, well, if you're going to leave a gap there, I'll take it from you. And when it comes to returning the favour, you will not have it back, as I'll defend the inside. Unlucky. I'm off. See you later. Marteau can't get it. And he knows that, well, oh, hold on. He's managed to keep his nose in. He's been trying this for lap after lap after lap, and he's had to concede the corner. But finally, Marteau has managed to keep his car alongside through the Reta Acosta and through Descida del Lago. As he's into Ferradura, he nearly loses the rear end. And wow, he's kept over it. He has done it. He's come back from 2.4 seconds down over Lamy. And here comes Lamy. He's alongside. You can hear the porpoising going on. The car scraping out. He looks for the switchback. Marteau covers the outside. And Lamy then swoops back to the left. He swoops right. And he cannot find a way through. He's looking up the right-hand side again. He's trying to get his nose in there. Is he too far back? No, he sends it in. And he gets his nose alongside. If he can hold it there, Marteau drifting right now into SA. And has Lamy done enough to keep his car alongside? If he can keep it in there, Marteau almost... Well, those tyres, they are shot, aren't they? He's got barely any meat left on the bone with those.
But you can see Jerome just squeezing him onto the inside. But Marteau getting that better traction out of the corner, but loses the rear, but does have the inside line. Jerome is ever so slightly in front. Is Marteau going to be later on the brakes than Jerome? They're still side by side, but Marteau just nudges in front ahead of Jerome, but leaves the door open for Jerome to nudge it back up the inside. He's going to pull alongside. They're side by side as they cross the line for white flag, and Marteau is about a tenth ahead into the corner, but doesn't brake as late as Jerome does. Going now through turn 2, Marteau just nudges ahead, but it's now advantage to Marteau, but Lamley has that slipstream and pass him that way. But we are going to find out as they come now into this next corner. Jerome looks up the inside, pushes Marteau all the way to the outside. Marteau's car looking very, very twitchy, and Jerome now has the advantage as he pushes Marteau off, and that is a big mistake from Marteau. He got very twitchy in the middle of that corner. 5/10 now. Jerome coming around the final corner, gets a good exit. Marteau can't quite do anything. It's going to be advantage Jerome. He has had an absolutely stonking race. He passed Marteau on lap 1. An absolutely amazing drive from the British driver. He comes across the line and wins in Interlagos. An incredible battle for P1. Respect to these guys. An absolutely amazing race. Kept it clean and crossed the line 1 and 2. Pedro Soares just coming home in 3rd. Well deserved from him. Glamsetter in 4th. Maruk in 5th. Wow, Tim.
Jerome Lamy taking the victory in the end by 3/10 of a second over Marteau. Suarez picks up the last podium position. The teammate Glamsetter in the end comes home in 4th. A great drive from him. As I was saying earlier, I believe that is his highest ever finish in iGP. Maruk, well, he sort of threw it away in the end. He could have finished 3rd. In the end, finishes 5th, which isn't a bad result. Tony Jimenez finishes 6th with Alistair Hay, 7th. Bessie, a great recovery from him because he's fallen all the way back to 20th. Comes home in 8th in the end with Barris 9th, Verani running at the top 10. Then it's Newhoff, Rizzers, Flint, Luedo, well done from where he would have expected to finish. Ridgeway up 13 places, one of the higher climbers. Not the highest category, but he's had a good race there. What a final few laps. Well, I say final few laps. I think the last final few 35 laps, realistically. I've been not the... Wow, some absolutely epic racing, and up and down the field as well.
Yeah, we didn't. It wasn't just the battle for the lead. It was the battle for 3rd, the battle for 10th at one point, the battle for 6th, the battle for 12th, 15th, 18th, and of course that battle from about 20th all the way to 30th. Just amazing battling up and down the grid.
Yeah, I think that battle for 20th, I think it started all the way back at 35th at one point. It's... Wow. But Interlagos, yet again, not failing to deliver